Hi, Dr. Picard here. The topic of this video is the importance of the diagnosis. I think that what I'm about to tell you on this video is probably going to surprise you. Let's consider, first of all, the diagnosis process for these kids. As you are more than likely already aware, there is no one test that you can have done to tell if your child has autism, ADHD, or Asperger's. The diagnosis is based on a number of criteria that is printed in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which is a psychiatric publication. Now, I realize the fact that it is a part of the psychiatric profession's diagnosis that is troubling a lot of people, and I understand that, but nonetheless, when you look at the different disorders that are part of the ASD, or the autistic spectrum disorder, you're going to find that there are some of these conditions that are very similar to one another. Some of them share the same symptoms. The next thing I want you to think about is the fact that most of these kids that are having these problems, they're usually going to exhibit one or more of the signs and symptoms of the different autistic spectrum disorders. So in other words, you may see a 3-year-old boy that is diagnosed with being autistic, but he may also show signs of hyperactivity. You can also have a 13-year-old girl with Asperger's who may also have some type of learning disorder. I want you to understand that I do not diagnose these kids. The diagnosis means very little to me. Now, what I am concerned with is what brain-based therapies and other care is necessary. And how do I determine this? Here's the secret to what I'm doing. All of the kids on the autistic spectrum disorder have one thing in common. They all have what is called the functional disconnection syndrome. And what it means is that there are areas of the brain that are not working in sync or at the same frequency of the other areas of the brain. And as a result, you get a dominance of one or more of the areas of the brain over the, let's say, out of sync or disconnected area or lobe of the brain. I'm not saying that anything is broken or that the brain is diseased. The bottom line is that the brain is not firing evenly in the same frequency from one area to the other. The degree at which this occurs, and depending upon what specific areas of the brain are involved, is what I use to determine the care plan of the child I intend to help. This is what is necessary for me to help your child achieve their optimal level of physical, mental, emotional, social, and academic performance. I don't need the label or the diagnosis. I just need to do my evaluations to find out what needs to be done. The label, if given to your child, means very little to me. I believe that there are actually, though, pros and cons to having your child diagnosed by a healthcare professional, but that's your decision, and you are the one who knows what's best for your child in your particular circumstance, and I can respect that, and I have no problems with it. If your child is diagnosed, it does not influence me on my expectations or my effort. I'll do whatever needs to be done in order to help. My intent is to allow your child to function at their optimal level. I'm Dr. Roy Picard, and I wish you the very, very best.